That's right, Kara. Yeah, that's a good catch on that, that sometimes they do reform back down to the south. That would be more near the Hankinson area, which is a little community on the Big Black River in northern Claiborne County. Of course, we just got a report of the tornado at 11:24, and of course we were talking about that drone footage. We have a storm chaser, Brett Adair, who is down there in Claiborne County, and he was able to film the tornado with the drone, and he says it was a cone tornado. That was back about 20 minutes ago, when the storm was near the Grand Gulf area. We don't see any evidence of a tornado right now, but again, this supercell thunderstorm is just beginning. So the good news is, if the trend continues, this warning may be canceled early. Again, that's a maybe. Okay. We're going to watch it for a few more scans, but if the trend continues where we're not seeing any rapid strengthening, there could be a cancellation of this warning, but it's still in effect, so don't let your guard down just yet. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look at this, because this is looking a little bit more suspicious, Kara, that you pointed that out now near the Kimberly area. And we'll put on the shear. And I mean, right down here between Kimberly and Hankinson, we see, we'll back it up.
Another area that's trying
to form. So that's the latest. So you have your gusty winds here near Big Black and Jeff Davis, but you have some trying to form here near the Hankinson area. We'll watch that closely and see what transpires over that. But those are where your gusty winds are right now between Jeff Davis and Big Black, moving to the northeast. And you can see they did trim down the box just a little bit, the tornado warning box right there.
Gusty winds.
So it's just some gusty winds right there. And we'll put on the David button. The severe weather button is what we call it. On the radar here, it's labeled the David button.
Small core of gusty winds there.
Right there, 70-mile-per-hour winds right there south of Jeff Davis and Big Black, moving to the northeast. So we'll do another track on it, and we'll track it out to the northeast at 35 miles per hour. Okay. Again, some of these same roads. There's an update. Let's clear this off. And Storm Shield's taking in all this data, and you know, it's coming in and it's updating. So let's take this out again. 35 miles an hour to the northeast. All right, if this can hold together, Newman at 11:53, Long Haul Road 11:57, Chichester Road at 12:02, Mount Moriah Road, this is over into Hinds County now, 12:03 and 12:04, the Institute Community at 12:04, Edwards at 12:06, and exit 19 off Interstate 20 at 12:08. That is if it can hold together. This storm is still back into Warren County, hugging the Big Black River, moving up towards the Newman and the Hubbard community, and also moving up towards the Edwards area. Again, no warning has been issued for Hinds County, but just giving you a heads up, that is where the storm is heading at this time.
And there's still going to be gusty winds moving into Hinds County anyway, whether it's rotating or not, we're still going to be getting those gusts.
Okay. Yeah, exactly, Kara. Fisher Ferry Fire Station on Goodrum Road in Warren County reports pea-size hail. So the Fisher Ferry Fire Station is reporting pea-size hail. So the hail is getting a little bit smaller.
Yeah, the area of black, which is usually what we look for, is getting smaller,
All right, and there's a look at the storm right there. And, you know, we're going to watch it. I mean, you see that, Kara, right there just south of Jeff Davis. That little area south of Jeff Davis, we're going to watch that closely. Because
if you put it in motion, what does it look like?
Yeah, let's...
I feel like there have been too many
We'll zoom out, and we'll put this in motion. And you can see how it's moving northeast like that. So it might try to get organized here over the next few minutes or so.
We'll watch that closely. A little bit on 3D as well.
Okay, what was that, Kristan? Let's switch over to Kristan in Storm Shield 16 3D. What you got for us?
So it's looking like kind of what you were just saying a second ago, Adam, about it looks like it's getting its act together a little bit more. If we can look at our 3D radar, again, with our velocity where the blues and the greens and the purples meet the reds, kind of fast forwarding through time, it kind of seems to include like what we were looking at earlier, and then within the last few frames, it looks like it's picking up just a little bit more, showing a little bit more broad rotation. Still nothing huge on our correlation coefficient with any debris signatures. but still broad rotation kind of looks like to be picking up a little bit more.
Something to watch for sure.
Definitely something to watch for sure.
Yeah.
And you can see that's where it is, just south of the Big Black area right now. And we'll put back on our rotation button, and you see there it is continuing. If we can switch back over to Storm Shield 16, please. And there it is right there. There's your rotation. Again, we're on the low scale of things. Kara and Kristana were saying that we were seeing some reds and yellows earlier when this thing was on the ground. But now, just some really gusty winds now moving over the Big Black community. Again, this is really hugging the Big Black River. Very rural area here in southern Warren County, but it will be crossing Highway 27 within a matter of about 15 minutes or so. We're coming up on 11:45, and so we'll go ahead and track this out. Again, we just got an update on there. You see how it moved.
Changes, yeah.
And just do that out about 35 miles per hour. Still coming up on Canada Cross Road at 12:01. Newman at 11:57, so about 10 more minutes it will be in the Newman community. There's Highway 27, so it will be crossing Highway 27 probably in the next 5 to 7 minutes, I would say. And then if it can hold together, it would be moving over towards the Edwards area and Interstate 20 near the Edwards area. So that is where we are focusing on right now. All right, we'll zoom out, and we will get a little bit wider perspective of what's going on. I know we've been really zoomed in, tight zoomed in. Let's just kind of zoom out, do a reset here of our area. And you can see this is really the only storm in our area, that one lone storm, and we'll put it in motion so you can see how it's moving. That one lone storm is prompted a tornado warning. That's what we've been talking about with this environment. We have very warm, moist air here, and if any storm could get going ahead of the main line, that's what it would have the potential to produce as a tornado. Again, we'll look at some of these storms back here across Louisiana, just kind of give you a sense of the atmosphere that we are dealing with right now.
I also like to point out, I think I saw there were a couple pockets of sunshine right along the river earlier this morning, and that's exactly where this storm formed. So you add a little bit of sunshine, you get a little bit more energy, add that to an already good environment, and that's when we see these storms.
Exactly, yeah, that's right. And when I was coming in, I saw some peaks of sunshine near the Flowood area. So the sunshine is trying to peak out, and that is not good. That's not good. That's going to add more fuel to the fire, so to speak. So here's a look at the wide perspective of what's going on. We have a cold front, which is right here across Arkansas and Louisiana, okay? This is going to come through later on this evening. But these storms that are popping up ahead of the cold front, these are going to have the potential to produce tornadoes. Again, they're few. They're just a few of them. That's what we were talking about. There could be a few nasty storms ahead of the line that could produce tornadoes. So we've got more stuff in Louisiana, and we are under a tornado watch. And this is the area that is under the greatest threat of seeing those tornadoes that do spin up. So that's just kind of the wide perspective of what is happening. We have a cold front off to the west. It still has to make it through before the severe weather threat is over, and temperatures already falling back in Louisiana, even some mixed precipitation up in Arkansas, 37 at Little Rock, and it's just kind of wild, mixed precipitation up there, and we have temperatures in the 70s and tornadoes down here. So this is a dynamic storm system, I will say that.
Yes.
So let's go back to that storm that we are looking at in Warren County and Claiborne County. We'll put back on the radar, and last frame right there, and you can see something trying to happen, maybe something trying to wrap back up along Highway 27 between the Big Black and the Newman area. Okay, so this is in the triple point where Hinds, Claiborne, and Warren County come together. That's where this is right now. And looking on 3D, Kristana, that's looking a little bit more impressive too. Then let's switch over to a Storm Shield 16 3D, and you can see more of that hook feature right there, Kristana.
Oh, yeah, you can definitely see some more of that hook feature. And then on the right-hand side with that velocity kind of getting a little bit better looking, I guess you would say. Again, if I back this up, it kind of looks like it occludes a little bit, and then it's starting to get its act together. And then what Adam was talking about earlier with that hook echo right here, in between, kind of looks like a little bit of an inflow notch, meaning some heavier, or not really heavier, but stronger winds trying to help twist or rotate that cell, and trying to help get its act together a little bit more.
And actually, they just extended the warning into Hinds County for that exact reason.
So now Hinds County is under a tornado warning. Okay,
yes, for that exact
that's what we were talking about.
Yep.
We were talking about the likelihood of this thing being extended over into Hinds County. All right, we'll reset here for just a minute. All right, let's switch back to me. Storm Shield 16.
And that one's until 12:45.
12:45. Okay.
County.
All right, we'll go ahead. This does include a lot of northern Hinds County. So in case you are just joining us, your phones are going off, your weather radios are going off. This is a tornado warning that has now been extended into Hinds County. All right, so the communities that are in the path of this storm, it does include Raymond, it does include Clinton, it does include Bolton, it does include Edwards, it does include Pocahontas, it does include the Brownsville area. It includes a little sliver of West Jackson, but again, we're still an hour away from this storm here in the metro area. But Raymond, Clinton, Bolton, Edwards, Brownsville, Pocahontas, you are in the warning. This is the warning box that we have right now until 12:45. And there's the cell right there in southern Warren County moving to the north. Okay, so Carol, why don't you come over here?
Yes.
I'm going to switch and go to the chroma wall, and we're going to just kind of walk you through this right now because Hinds County is now under a tornado warning right now. Okay, so here's the storm in question right here. There's the hook. This is still back in southern Warren County, okay? It is now getting ready to cross over the Big Black River, and it will be moving into western Hinds County. Edwards is in the path of it. Hubbard's in the path of it. This is I-20. This is, I believe, this is Highway 469, I believe, here in Hinds County, 468 or 469. This is Highway 18 right here, and this is Highway 80, Highway 22. These are the these are the roads in the path of this particular thunderstorm and tornadic supercell. So there it is right there. You can see there's the shear button right there. There's the rotation. And that's moving to the northeast like that, okay? So Edwards is in the path of it. So if you live in Edwards, tornado precautions right now. Lowest level, near the center, away from windows, okay? This circulation is moving across the Big Black River and up into the Edwards area. We advise no travel right now on Interstate 20, let's say between Bovina and Jackson. No travel on Interstate 20 right now between Bovina and Jackson. Highway 80 between Bovina and Jackson. There it is. There's your rotation right there. And that's a good couplet. It has come back up as we were saying that these storms are cyclic. They cycle up and they cycle down. Very strong couplet right there, Kara.
Yes, it
right
is.
there along the Big Black River. This is coming up into the Newman community. If you live in Newman, tornado shelter right now. This is Highway 27. There is your rotation right there coming up along Highway 27 and the Newman area. Hubbard, you need to be in your shelter right now as well. Newman and Hubbard, they are in the immediate path of this right now. And we're going to track that out, 35 miles an hour. Newman, 11:59. That's in about 6 minutes. But again, the storm can speed up, so you want to be in your shelter right now. Newman, 11:59. Canada Cross Road at 12:03. Smith Station Road at 12:06, Chichester Road 12:10, Mount Moriah Road 12:11, Edwards at 12:15, I-20 exit 19 will be 12:17, Buck Reed Road at 12:19, okay? There it is right there, and it looks like, guys, it's coming back up. It's cycling back up. There's the hook right there. Look at that. Very impressive. You can see how it just got its act together, and that's what we're talking about. These storms are cyclic. Very impressive hook. Right there, Kara.
Oh, yeah.
Right there, right along the Big Black River, okay? So you can see an inflow notch developing, and there's where your hook echo and your tornado is going to be. Hail is falling to the north of it, okay? So Bovina Cutoff Road, seeing some hail right now, and Storm Shield is going to be updating here in a matter of moments. It's taking in a lot of data, and so it takes some time to maybe update, but there's your rotation is going to be right here along Highway 27, Newman and Hubbard, tornado shelter right now. This is moving towards Edwards. Edwards is up here. Okay, so this is moving northeast like that. So Edwards in your shelter right now. Tornado shelter right now for Edwards. There it is right there, wrapping back up. We had the tornado confirmed near Grand Gulf. It occluded, it choked itself off. We have another tornado developing right now. It is now coming across the Big Black River. There it is right there. And it's about to cross over into Hinds County. There's your inflow notch. And see, you have large hail falling right here, south of Bovina, across eastern Warren County. So there's the track right there, tracking it to the northeast. Again, these are the towns and the roads in the path right now. 1203 for Smith Station Road, 1205 for Chichester Road, 1206 Mount Moriah Road, crossing Highway 80 and Interstate 20 at 1207, Edwards at 1209, Buck Reed Road at 1212. There it is. Oh, look at that right there.
Oh,
Let's
wow.
zoom into that right there. Another update. Over Newman right now. This is the Newman community. You are under the gun right now. There it is. There's your inflow notch, and there's where your tornado is going to be right there, moving to the northeast like that. So this is Log Haul Road is right here. Pick out your road. Canada Cross Road is right here. This is Smith Station Road, and this is Newman Road right here. Pick out your road right in here. This is where it's moving to the northeast. You need to be in your shelter right now. This is your circulation right there near the Newman area, and there's your rotation couplet moving to the northeast. Kristana, can you get on GR2 and just pull that up real quick? Get a good shot of it. But there it is. There's where your circulation is going to be right there. You can see it. There's your hook right there. Inflow notch, hook right there. Very impressive. And this is hail falling in this area right now. So hail is falling up into the Bovina area as this storm moves to the northeast, and Kara's putting it in motion for us, and you can see how it's moving to the northeast like that. Edwards, you are in the path of this, so you need to be in your shelter in the Edwards area right now. Let's go over to Kristana on Storm Shield 16 3D. Kristana, what do you have for us?
Again, looking at that correlation coefficient to see if it is a confirmed tornado on the ground right now. We have been hearing sayings of it's just radar indicated, but kind of looking at the past few tracks, pushing it back and then again putting it into motion where it's lifted and then putting it back down on the ground. Again, it's not confirmed on the ground at this time, but again, looking at the hook echo as well as the correlation coefficient, definitely looks like something is in the process. Moving over to our velocity, kind of zooming into where this hook echo was a second ago, you have that inflow notch where the winds are starting to turn into the cell, and then there's another update right there for you. Wind speeds again, probably gusting.
This is out near Newman Road,
Yes.
Smith Station Road, Log Hall Road, these areas out here in Newman. Thank you so much, Kristana, for that analysis right there. And there's hail falling right here. This is the Big Black River. This separates Warren County and Hinds County, and there is where your hail is falling right now. There's I-20. There's Old Highway 80. This is the Edwards area right now. This is moving to the northeast. This is moving into the Edwards area right now. So right now it's coming through Newman, and the next city in the path is going to be the Edwards area. So these are the updated times of arrival for the road. Pick out your road here. Long Haul Road at 1201, Smith Station Road at 1204, Chichester Road at 1206, Mount Moriah Road at 1208, Edwards at 1212, I-20 exit 19 will be at 1213, Buck Reed Road at 1215, Good Hope Road at 1218, Champion Hill Road at 1219. This is between Edwards and Bolton, okay? So, Kara, let's take that off. Let's zoom out in case people are just joining us right now. There is a tornado warning in effect for Hinds County. This is your box right here, okay? We'll just zoom back into Hinds County, Kara. And I just want to show people who's in and who's out of the warning. Okay, there's your box right there. Okay, Clinton, you are in the box. Bolton, you are in the box. Edwards, you are in the box. Raymond, it's just clipping you to the north, but again, too close for comfort. We want you in your shelter. And this box does clip the extreme western part of the city of Jackson. Again, we're still about 45 minutes away from this storm affecting the immediate metro area. We're talking about the 220 loop and all this area. We're still about 45 minutes away from that. But northern Hinds County is under a tornado warning at this time. So if you live in Byram, if you live in Terry, if you live in Learned, if you live in Utica, you don't need to do anything. You're not in the warning. This storm is going to go well to your north. This is the box that we're talking about. Raymond to the north is where this warning is in effect for right now. And there's your storm, very impressive right now, coming through the Newman area, moving towards Edwards. And we'll have to watch that, Kara. It might want to start turning a little bit to the right. We'll have to watch that. And that box is drawn for that error in case it does want to move a little bit to the right or a little bit more to the left. All right, we'll zoom back in. Do you have something, Kristana?
Yes, they're just now confirming it as radar confirmed, so it was indicated, now it's more towards confirmed, just towards the south of Edwards. We were just talking, people are asking about where it is located. Vicksburg, you're not included in this tornado warning, and again, like what Adam was just talking about, Jackson just clipping on the west side of it, but this is heading towards the northeast. Looks like it's going to be crossing over I-20 as it goes through or just towards the west of Edwards as of right now.
Okay, all right, thank you so much, Kristana, for that. And there's a look at the track right now. It's coming up on Chichester Road. It's coming up on Highway 80 Edwards. You need to be in your shelter right now. This storm is coming up on the Edwards area, and we're going to be, we're talking in the matter of, let's say, 10 or 15 minutes for that storm to be approaching the Edwards area. Again, do what now?
12:11.
12:11. Okay, so right now we're 12:01. You got 10 minutes, Edwards. And again, I would say being it right now, you got 5 minutes. We're going to be conservative here and give you as much lead time as you can. But there it is right there, moving into the Edwards area. There's I-20. There's Highway 80. And let's put on some streets here, Kara. Let's get some streets on as it's getting into the city of Edwards right now. If you live in Edwards, be in your shelter right now. Again, pick out your street. This is Cemetery Road, Old Highway 80. This is Smith Station Road. There's the Smiths community right there. There's Log Hall Road. It's now along Smith Station Road and Log Hall Road, moving to the northeast, okay? So there's Edwards right there. There's Mount Moriah Road right there. This is moving right into the heart of Edwards. If you live in Edwards, be in your shelter right now. There's Chichester Road right there. There is, what is that, Potato House Road there in the Edwards area. So this is moving to the northeast. It is moving directly for Edwards. If you live in Edwards, be in your shelter right now. This is I-20. This is going to cross over the interstate, and it's even strengthening. There it is. We're getting more of the reds on our scale right here. So there it is right there, and very impressive. You got your inflow notch, and you've got where your circulation is right there, moving to the northeast. Edwards, you are in the path of this. Be in your shelter right now in Edwards. All right, this is now a radar-confirmed tornado, and with our debris mode, we can see the debris this tornado is lofting. So this is no longer a possible, this is a radar-confirmed tornado into Edwards right now. Very impressive storm. You need to be in your shelter. Where is that? The lowest level, near the center, away from windows, okay? You want to get into that. You want to get a bicycle helmet on. You want to get shoes on. You want to get into that lowest level of your house, pillows and blankets. Get that in there with you into that safe area, and this is going to be moving quickly, okay? So it's not going to be over you for a long period of time. It's moving quickly, northeast at around 30 to 40 miles an hour. And again, zooming back in on these areas right now, coming up Chichester Road, coming up Mount Moriah Road, coming into downtown Edwards. There's downtown Edwards right here, moving to the northeast. There's I-20 right there, and Old Highway 80, and there's your circulation right there, moving to the northeast. So this is very dangerous. Smiths is getting some large hail right now, and that large hail has passed through Bovina, but this is now strictly a Hinds County storm, okay? This is strictly a Hinds County storm right now. and this is moving to the northeast like that. So moving through Edwards, it will be coming up out of Edwards up Highway 22. So this is Highway 22 that runs out of Edwards up here into Madison County. Okay, so you go from Edwards up Highway 22 towards the Flora area. What's this road right here, Kara, that's coming out of Edwards down to the southeast? Let's label that road too. I believe that's a state highway right there. And yeah, okay.
Nope, not it.
So we're talking about just south and just to the east of Edwards too. So this could move a little bit to the right. The storm motion is northeast, but it could move a little bit to the right of it. So that's State Highway 457.
467.
Okay? 467, excuse me, 467. That comes out of Edwards down here towards the Raymond area, okay? And this is near where Central Hines Academy is as well. This is out here between Raymond and Bolton. So they're in the warning polygon as well. This is Raymond Bolton Road, and Central Hines sits right here. So they are in the warning polygon as well. But there is where your circulation is and your tornado. It is moving like this to the northeast. So this will be moving through Edwards. It will be moving over Champion Hill Road, over I-20, Highway 80, and moving to the northeast like that. Another track of it. And we have some more roads right here. Mount Moriah Road, it's right on Mount Moriah Road right now. Edwards at 1209, exit 19 of I-20, which is right in this area right here. That will be at 1211. Buck Reed Road at 1212. Dr. Johnson Road at 1215. Champion Hill Road, 1217. Queens Hill at 1219. South Far Road at 1219. And exit 27 on I-20 will be at 1227. We're coming up on 1206 right now, so the circulation is right on top of Mount Moriah Road. There's the update. We'll zoom back in, Kara, because this is coming right into Edwards. So we're going to zoom in close to Edwards right now. Zoom in even more if you can, Kara. All right, so there it is. There's your circulation right there. Okay, moving to the northeast. There's downtown Edwards right here. This is State Highway 467 right here. This is Cemetery Road. There's Interstate 20. There's Mount Moriah Road right there. So Mount Moriah Road, Chichester Road, it's coming through Chichester Road right now. There's State Highway 467. There's Edwards right there, downtown Edwards. This is moving directly towards downtown Edwards, and we have a red warning ring that just popped up. That is not a good sign.
And we have a slight debris ball on our correlation.
Okay, let's switch over to Cristana at Storm Shield 16 3D Cristana.
Again, so like Adam was saying, we have that rotation. We have the velocity as well. If we can switch over to our 3D, again, this is what we were just talking about, heading into Edwards or heading towards Edwards. So once again, get to your safe place. That's the lowest level, innermost room of your house, away from any windows and doors. This looks like it could potentially be on the ground, if not now, within the next few minutes.
I think that is on the ground,
It probably
Cristana.
is on the ground, because again, you can kind of see it, Adam, on our correlation coefficient. Again, that little divot, I would like to say, where all the reds and yellows are, and then you see a little bit of green right there. That's what we're looking at for our debris ball with the tornado on the ground. Again, that is heading towards the northeast around 30 to 35 miles an hour, heading into Edwards. So again, if you're in Edwards or around the surrounding areas, get to your safe place right now. Adam?
All right, in fact, let's leave Storm Shield 16 3D up and go into the two-panel mode, Cristana, and I'm going to show people what we're talking about with this debris ball. There's your debris signature right there coming into Edwards right now, and there's the reflectivity. And there it is right there, coming into Edwards right now. So we have radar confirmation of a tornado. This is debris that the tornado is picking up. That's pine limbs, pieces of pine trees, boards, bricks, glass, nails, whatever is being thrown up into the tornado is being picked up right here just south of Edwards, moving to the northeast. So this is a very dangerous situation. It is in Edwards right now. If you have not taken shelter, you need to take shelter right now. Over to Storm Shield 16, Doppler radar. There it is, right in Edwards right now. There's your couplet right there. Very tight couplet now, moving into Edwards. So Edwards is under the gun right now. There it is. We're getting in close for you. There's Buck Reed Road. There's I-20. There's exit 19. That's the Edwards exit there off I-20. That is moving through right now. No cars should be on I-20 right now in western Hinds County. No travel advised from Bovina to Jackson on I-20 as this very dangerous tornado and supercell thunderstorm moves across that area. But there it is in Edwards right now. So, and it's just come through Edwards, okay? Kara, you have something for us?
Yes, the spotter is reporting damage in Edwards, so that is extra confirmation that we're seeing tornado, or at least, at the very least, 80-mile-an-hour winds. Waiting to get some more details on what kind of damage that is and where specifically it is, but based on this radar, it's not surprising at all to, unfortunately, see that there is damage.
And yeah, unfortunately, yeah, but we saw that, Kara, we saw that circulation, and no doubt we are now reporting damage in Edwards right now. And just look at that, just coming right through Edwards, and it is now moving out of Edwards right now, crossing I-20. If you have relatives that are on I-20 in Hinds County, give them a call and tell them to pull off the highway right now. There is a tornado coming right over the interstate near the Edwards area, okay? So it has now come through Edwards. It is now moving to the northeast. And so let's, Kara, let's go ahead and let's zoom up to the north, and let's get as much warning as we can to people downstream from the circulation. And there it is right there. There's your circulation near the Edwards area. It has come through Edwards. We have debris being reported, and we have damage in the Edwards area. So very heavy rainfall, maybe some small hail falling across this part of Hinds County, coming up on the Lynchburg area. Okay, so there's your circulation, and there it is moving to the north. So these are the new towns and communities in the path of this. We have Buck Reed Road. It's right on top of Buck Reed Road. Right now, 1214, it's 1211. Tampion Hill Road at 1218. Good Hope Road at 1219. Queens Hill at 1222. William Lake Road at 1227. Queens Hill Road at 1227. And John Warren Road at 1227. Again, this is coming up into the Brownsville area. So this circulation is going to follow Highway 22 from Edwards to the northeast, okay? So the next town is going to be the Brownsville area, okay? There it is. There's the other update. Now, right on the interstate, there we see it right there on the interstate, moving to the northeast right now. And so crossing Interstate 20 right now, moving up Highway 22. Go ahead, Kara.
Yes, getting some more reports about the damage. Now seeing damage on I-20 at the Edwards exit, which is right where we're talking about at the moment.
Okay, yeah, so confirmation once again of tornado damage there on I-20 in the Edwards area. And we really hope that there were no cars on I-20 when it did come across right there at the Edwards exit. But tornadoes still on the ground, moving to the northeast, all right? This is Highway 22 that runs out from Edwards up towards the Brownsville area. And that is the next community in the path of this. If you live between Brownsville and Edwards, tornado shelter right now. We advise no travel on Highway 22 between, let's say, Edwards and Flora. No travel on Highway 22 between Edwards and Flora. This very dangerous storm is now coming up to the northeast right now. Brownsville to Edwards, tornado shelter right now. If you live in any of these communities or these roads right here, tornado shelter right now, okay? Cox Ferry Road at 1231. That's up here in the northern part of our box. This is up here towards Madison County and the Flora area. No warning for Madison County yet, but this storm is moving to the northeast towards Madison County. There's the Madison County line right there, and up Highway 22 is the Flora area, okay? So this tornado is still in the Edwards area, moving to the northeast. And there's a look at some of the winds right there, and still showing very tight rotation right there near the Edwards area. So just came across Edwards. We do have damage reports of damage on I-20 in Edwards at the Edwards exit. Also, we have damage in the city of Edwards from this tornado. But there it is right there, moving to the northeast. So there's I-20, there's Highway 22 right there. Coming up up through Edwards into the Brownsville area. Kara, do we have any other reports?
Seeing that the tornado that was reported by a spotter is a cone tornado, the same type that we saw back when this storm first had a warning on it when it came over from Louisiana, which means it's kind of wider at the top and then gets a little bit skinnier as it goes into the bottom. But we've seen the same type of tornadoes, the same type of storms, and we're in the same type of environment, so that's no surprise really. But there continues to be a lot of energy out there for these storms to use, which is why they're able to continue to cycle up, cycle down for a few minutes, and then cycle back up again. So that rotation, the area of greatest concern, at least where you see that red, just crossing Highway 20 or I-20 at this time. We have, again, some reports of damage out in parts of Edwards. No other information for where specifically within the town that was or what type of damage it is or anything like that, but that is enough for, plus the reports of the tornado, of course, to be very concerned with this storm.
Okay, thank you, Kara. In fact, can we switch over to velocity on this real quick? Just want to check that before we throw it over to GR2. But there it is right there. There's your circulation. And can we go to the other velocity mode, just a little bit higher resolution? There it is right there. And you can see there it is along Highway 22. There's your warning ring right there. Again, we're getting close. Right now, we're coming up on Good Hope Road. This is Highway 80. This is Champion Hill Road. This is Billy Fields Road right here. So the circulation is now right on top of I-20. There is Highway 22 moving out of Edwards, and there's the updated. You can see the rotation is right now on Highway 22 near Good Hope Road, just to the north of Champion Hill Road. And this thing looks like Kara's moving a little bit more east-northeast.
Yeah, I would agree with
which, you know, that happens sometimes with these storms. You have these big supercell thunderstorms, and sometimes, you know, the main storm motion may be northeast, but they may move a little bit east-northeast, okay? So that's why the box is drawn that way for some error in the movement. But right now, the storm has come over Champion Hill Road. Looks like the circulation is right on Good Hope Road, just to the north and to the east of Edwards. And there is our warning ring right there, right on top of where that circulation is right now, moving to the northeast. So, and there is our severe weather button, and those are 70-mile-per-hour winds now coming up Good Hope Road right now. Let's switch over to the rotation button, Kara. And there it is. We still have that red rotation color, which is on our scale, which is going up towards the high side of things. And that is now coming up on Good Hope Road as well. Okay, so there it is right there. There's your warning ring moving to the northeast. Okay, so here's some more roads right here. Looks like this is Farr Road, Highway 22, Smith Farr Road. This is Queens Hill Road right here. So this thing is moving right up the highway, right, just following it like a car would on the highway, just following right up Highway 22. This is Williams Lake Road right here that runs up through there. So if you live on any of these roads that we talked about, tornado shelter now, okay? This is a confirmed tornado on the ground, moving to the northeast, all right? This is not a possible, this is a tornado on the ground. Kara just read you the report of a cone-shaped tornado on the ground moving to the northeast. And there it is right now along Highway 22, moving to the northeast like that. So Smith Farr Road, and then upstream would be coming up into the Brownsville community, which is up here in northern Hinds County, okay? There's our warning ring that is updated. It's shifting along with the tornado. This thing is moving fast, 35 to 40 miles an hour, and I mean, that thing is tight. Right now, that thing is tight, moving to the northeast, and that means that we have impressive rotation. A tornado is still being reported on the ground. Let's go over to Storm Shield 16 3D. All right, leave that up, Kara. We'll come back to it. I just want to show Storm Shield 16 3D real quick. And there's your debris ball right there. There's where your debris is being reported right there. You see that just north of, this is the Champion Hill. This is out there between Bolton and Edwards. So there it is right there. There's where your tornado is going to be moving to the northeast, okay? So there's Brownsville. Brownsville, tornado shelter right now. Brownsville, be in your shelter right now. And there is your lowering right there. of what is debris just north of Champion Hill moving to the northeast like that. So we still have a tornado on the ground moving to the northeast at this time. There's the update of it. I don't really see much right there. We'll have to watch that scan, but treat this as if it is on the ground. We'll watch that over the next couple of scans. Over now to Storm Shield 16, and these are the roads in the path of this circulation. Champion Hill at 1220. We are at 1220 right now, right on top of Champion Hill. Queens Hill at 1223. South Far Road at 1223. William Lake Road at 1228. Bolton Brownsville Road at 1233. Brownsville 1234. You have 10 minutes. 10 minutes to get to your shelter in Brownsville, 1234. McGuffey Road at 1238. Clinton-Tenon Road at 1240, and West County Line Road at 1244. This is up here. This is Madison County right here. We do not have a warning for Madison County yet, but if this continues, there will be one issued for Madison County. Okay, so if you live in Madison or Ridgeland or near the Lake Lorman area, pay close attention to this storm. Lake Cavalier, Lake Lorman up here in southern Madison County, pay attention to this storm because it is knocking on your door, or it will be in about the next 10 to 15 minutes. And this is a very strong circulation moving up Highway 22. So right now, moving towards the Brownsville area. Brownsville is the next community in the path of this tornado as it is moving to the northeast like that. Kara?
A couple updates. As we've been talking about, while the rotation is definitely still there, we haven't been seeing confirmation from the debris indicator. So the considerable tag, which means that the idea that the tornado is on the ground might get dropped with the latest update. So that's good. It means that the storm is maybe weakening a little bit, but as we've seen, they cycle up and down really quickly. So just going to continue to watch that trend, and hopefully that trend will continue. And also, you know, we have been talking about some damage in parts of the area, and I just checked Entergy's website, and as you would probably expect, there are a lot of power outages. Just in the Edwards area and surrounding vicinity, we're looking at about 2,000 customers without power. So it is probably going to be a while before that is restored, just due to the nature of this storm. But this is still, as of now, the only storm out there in anywhere close to our area. Things have started to get a little active in Arkansas, but this is the only one in our area at this time.
Okay, thank you for that update, Kara. Also got a report of very severe damage on Ashcock Circle in Edwards. Ashcock Circle in Edwards, severe damage, trees down on homes. No injuries, thankfully, reported at this time, but severe damage, Ashcock Circle in Edwards from this tornado that did move across that area. So you can see there it is. There's your circulation right now coming up Far Road. Right there, Highway 22, there's South Far Road. This is Queens Hill Road. And the good news is our rotation is diminishing. The reds that we saw, the big bright reds that we saw earlier, have diminished. And now it's just a little bit of red. But still, like we saw in Warren County, the storm will cycle up and cycle down. Supercells are cyclic in nature. They spin up, they produce a tornado, they spin back down. Looks like this thing unfortunately spun down right on top of the Edwards area and is now moving to the north. So this is Brownsville right here. Brownsville, you are very close right now, getting some very heavy rain, maybe a little bit of some small hail. And looking at the storm right now, looks like maybe this area would try to develop, Kara, off to the south and to the east. You have this right here, which looks like it might be trying to choke off. And then you might have this right here south of Brownsville try to develop. We'll have to watch that closely. But you see how it was very impressive at Edwards, and then as it moved, looks like it's trying to choke itself off, and it looks like this might try to develop again. It might try to regenerate itself. We'll have to watch that closely. But again, these storms are cyclic. Yep, there it is right there. You see that, Kara?
Yep.
Just south of Brownsville, north of Bolton.
Go ahead and pull up.
So we'll have to watch that closely to see if that can regenerate. There's where your old circulation was. Looks like your new circulation may start developing right here south of Brownsville and to the north of Bolton. We'll have to watch that closely. But there's the circulation much weaker than it was. So I'm very confident that this thing is probably occluded and cut itself off. But again, as you saw with the radar presentation, it may start to try to recycle and regain some strength again.
And then looking back to the west, we'll just have to make sure that anything else that tries to develop is not going to be doing anything similar.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, put on the reflective. What's this here near Edwards again?
Yeah,
you see that?
I just looked at it a few minutes ago and was like, oh, that's a surprise.
That might be something.
Yeah.
Edwards, it's not warned yet, but we have another storm developing just to the south of Edwards, and that thing is wrapping up quickly.
Yeah, it sure is.
Let's switch over to Storm Shield 3D, please. There it is. So there's Edwards right here. We had one tornado come through, but look at this. We have another broad rotation developing just over Edwards right now. So Edwards going through it again. So this is moving quickly. It's going to move quickly right now. It's between the Institute community and Edwards, okay? Again, some of the same areas that we were talking about just about 15 minutes ago. There it is right there. There it is right there. So we'll watch that closely. Let's go back to the main storm, though, that does have the warning on it. We'll watch that closely. Kristana, keep a close eye on it there in the Weather Center. Let's go back over to Storm Shield 16. And, you know, I'm watching this area right here south of Brownsville. This could wrap up again and move to the north. Again, these things are cyclic in nature. They spin up, they spin down. That's just what they do. And so we're watching that closely. But
and
again,
this is such a good environment, too, that it, like, even if it weakens just a little bit, there's so much more energy around that it might be able to strengthen really quickly once again. And
that's what we're talking about, Kara. These isolated thunderstorms, they're not competing with other storms for energy. If you have a line of storms, you have all these storms competing for the same energy. This thing is out by itself. And so it has, it can tap all this energy that we have across the area today. That is why the risk was enhanced for our area, because we have a lot of energy in place and it's going to stay in place. And we are now not even at peak heating. We're just at the noon hour, Kara, and we have a lot more heating to go. So, you know, this is not the only game in town, unfortunately. We have another wave of severe weather to come through later on this afternoon. But you see the rotation increasing there south of Brownsville, Kara. And that is, will be moving to the northeast. We'll have to watch that very closely as well. But Brownsville, be in your shelter right now, okay? So the box does include Brownsville, and it does include Pocahontas, which is up here. This is Highway 49 here in Hinds County. There's Tenon, and there's Clinton-Tenon Road, okay?
Just got another update. Looks like it's continuing to cycle down a little bit, but still definitely rotation there. You can see that clearly.
Okay, and what about that storm near Edwards, Kristana? Do we have anything? That's a little tight couplet. Let's switch over to
here we go.
Storm Shield 16 3D.
Just towards the east of Edwards.
Right. Look at that right there.
Yeah.
All right, we'll pop me back on camera if we can, please. And there it is, right there. You see that little couplet on the south end? And that would make sense because this is the hook part of the storm, and there's something right there. So we'll watch that to see if it strengthens anymore. That's just to the east of Edwards. Okay, this is coming up on Champion Hill. There's Champion Hill right there. So there's your storm right there moving to the northeast, okay? And did we just have is it still confirmed, that tornado up in northern Hinds County?
It is getting dropped back down to radar indicated due to the weakening that we've been talking about.
All right. So let's switch back over to Storm Shield 16 Doppler radar. And you can see there's that rotation now between Lynchburg and Brownsville right now. Coming up John Warren Road, coming up Cox Ferry Road. This is Cox Ferry Road right here. That runs back up towards the Flora area. This is West County Line Road right here, okay? This is Madison County. No warning for Madison County, but this cell is moving in your direction, okay? There's Brownsville. Pocahontas is back off towards the east right here. So right now, Pocahontas, you are in the box, barely in the box, but I really think the threat is to the west of Pocahontas, okay? So there's where your circulation is right there, and if you track that to the northeast, let's do a track on that, Kara. Even weaker on the cell, okay? So that's coming up on the Adele community, coming up on West County Line Road, and coming up on Petrified Forest Road. This is up near to the Flora area right here. There's Flora right here, okay? So Brownsville is right here, moving northeast. Flora, look out. Watch this storm. It's weak now, but it can cycle back up. It has all the energy it needs to cycle back up. So Flora, watch this storm closely because this is moving in your direction, continuing to move up Highway 22 towards the Flora area. No warning for Madison County, but that could be coming here shortly. But the storm right now is on the downturn, so that's some good news. Don't let your guard down, though, because we are watching this area right here to see if that can spin up. Again, the old circulation is back here. This is where the new one would be, right here, just out ahead of it, near the Brownsville area. Coming up, there's a Jimmy Williams Road in the Tenon area. Again, this is just to the northwest of the Tenon area and moving to the northeast like that. So there's your cell, and then we have another one back here near the Edwards area. Any change on that, Kristana?
There's a little bit of a change just towards the west of Champion Hill, but overall it's still looking like broad rotation at this time.
But that's some good news, yeah. But again, these southern cells, you have to watch them closely because they have the potential to spin up sometimes and move in that same direction. So let's just widen out. Thank you, Kara. We'll widen out and get a broad perspective. This is the only storm that we have in our coverage area. We still have more severe weather back to the west across Louisiana, and that has to come through our area later on this afternoon. And we are not even at peak heating, okay? It is still just about the lunchtime hour. Peak heating doesn't really occur till around 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and we have all of these storms that will be moving into this environment. Okay, we do have the tornado watch in effect for our area, and that's why, because we're going to have these supercell thunderstorms that will develop, and they could produce tornadoes. They've already produced tornadoes today that we've seen. Kara?
I believe we are going to be letting this warning expire as expected due to the fact that it has been weakening. While the indications are still there that it could cycle up later, right now it looks like we are going to let that warning expire as expected. So that's some good news. Okay,
that's some very good news. Okay, but let's zoom back into that storm, and I just want to give people downstream from it a heads up. If you live in Flora, heads up. This storm is on the downturn, but we're going to be watching it closely because if it does cycle back up, they will issue another warning, but it does not look like it did about 15 or 20 minutes ago when it was through the Edwards area. Still very heavy rainfall and maybe some small hail, but our rotation button is really weakened on that. So that's definitely some very good news. But we'll watch that very closely as it continues to lift to the north. But again, Flora, this storm is heading in your direction, and it will be in your area within the next, I'd say, 15 or so minutes. And yeah, that's really looking meager compared to what it was, Kara.
Yes, and we'll just have to keep an eye on what's back here just south of Lynchburg. It had just passed through Edwards, and we're just keeping a watch on that because following behind this first storm, it's in the same kind of environment, which means it has the ability to do the same kind of things. But as of now, it doesn't look like. We've been doing a check every now and then of see if there's increased rotation, and that so far has not happened, which is some good news. But you do see behind me, this is the map of the tornado watch across our area. It includes just about everybody at this point. This is primarily, going to be for spin-up tornadoes that happen along the line coming in later on today, and for these tornadoes possible with individual storms that we've seen so far for about the last hour and a half. That was always going to be the biggest concern today, but it was also the biggest question. But it is safe to say that has panned out so far.
And it's some good news, Kara. Just a severe thunderstorm warning has now been issued for Madison County and for Yazoo County for this right here. Probably looking for some hail, but still take a severe thunderstorm warning seriously, but it is downgraded from a tornado warning. Let's zoom out and show you who is in the severe thunderstorm warning. That is Flora, Varillia, up here just to the northwest of Canton, Scotland, Bentonia, Little Yazoo, all in the severe thunderstorm warning right now, as this is the nasty part of the storm right there. And that is moving to the northeast at around 40 miles an hour. So there are some of the areas that this storm is now going to be affecting. West County Line Road at 12:37, that's about 4 minutes from now. Flora at 12:44, Tri-County Academy at 12:44. I know a lot of schools today or this week, it is exam week right before Christmas break. A lot of kids are probably taking their exams. So Tri-County Academy, this nasty storm is heading in your direction, 12:44 for Tri-County Academy. Pocahontas Road at 12:40 Cane Creek Road at 1247, and the Livingston area. This is way up here. This is north and to the west of Madison at 1251. This is 463. You come up 22, you take 463, there's Livingston. Mansdale Elementary is right there. Annandale is right here, and then you're getting down towards Madison. This storm is going to be moving up towards the Flora and the Livingston area, but again, it is now clipping the Mansdale and the Annandale areas of Madison. Mansdale Elementary School, this is near Lake Caroline, this is near Hathaway Lake, this is near the Hartfield and the Johnstone communities up here in Madison County. So there's that storm right there. Again, not a tornado warning storm, severe thunderstorm warning, but we're watching it closely because it could spin back up and spit out a tornado. Again, let's go to Storm Shield 16 3D, and we're watching the cell behind that storm here in Hinds County. It has persisted, and we do have a little bit of some weak rotation north of Champion Hill. This is Highway 22 right here. This brown line is Highway 22, just north of Champion Hill, moving to the northeast. That will be affecting the Brownsville area as well, and we're watching this storm very carefully for signs of rotation because it's on the southern end. And these storms usually can take advantage of that warm, unstable air. Again, the storm is not competing with other storms for inflow, so this thing is moving to the northeast as well. So right now moving up Highway 22, but right now not a warned storm, but one that does have some weak rotation now moving up Highway 22 just to the north of Champion Hill. Kara, do you have anything else?
Yes, I do have a quick update. If you'll take the radar back full screen, there's no storm over now, but getting reports that there are some trees down on the southeast edge of Edwards on Highway 467, which I have highlighted there for you to show you exactly where that is. Authorities are on scene, but this is just more confirmation of the damage from the tornado on the ground from earlier. Again, no storm over Edwards now, but this was about 20-30 minutes ago where we had that tornado on the ground doing damage, and this is just one of, I'm sure, many spots that are seeing trees down due to that storm. So again, no storm over Edwards right now. Just wanted to point out where that road was and where we're seeing that damage.
Okay, thank you so much, Kara. Yeah, Kristana, you have something?
Yeah, and we're starting to get pictures coming in. This one I'm hoping to get up on in a few minutes. It's over Grand Gulf Road. It shows that signature cone-shaped tornado that you were talking about earlier as it was passing through Warren into Claiborne County into Hinds.
Okay, we'll get that picture on our social media. That was that's a very impressive picture right there. But this is the storm that we are looking at right now. Again, no tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning now for Madison and Yazoo County right now. This is coming up on the Flora area, and the rotation can't really pick anything up. But you remember about 15 minutes ago or so, we did have those reds in there, and we're putting on the rotation. We just don't see a lot of rotation out there. Again, the warning will be allowed to expire at 12:45, but again, this nasty thunderstorm is now moving up into the Flora area. And I know a lot of kids are in school taking exams. This is exam week for Christmas break. This thing will be coming right over Tri-County Academy. So very heavy rain, maybe some small hail, and we do have a little bit of an updated hail core right there coming up Highway 22 there into the Flora area. This has just crossed over the county line from Hinds County into Madison County, and it is now moving toward the Flora area right now. Okay, so no tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning, probably for large hail in this storm, because we are getting a lot of hail being reported in that storm, and there it is moving to the northeast. Let's check on that storm down in near Edwards, and there it is right there. We're watching it.
Yeah,
it's trying. But there's no warning on it yet. But we'll have to watch it because it is on the south side of this cell, which was the main tornado warning. And then there's a little bit of rotation right there along Highway 22 and Farr Road, just to the southeast of the Lynchburg area. And that is moving to the northeast as well. So it will be affecting the Brownsville area and some of the same areas the initial cell went over just about 15 or 20 minutes ago. So there it is right there, some pretty large hail probably falling on Highway 22 right now on the Madison and Hinds County line. And then here comes this cell right here that's going to be moving to the northeast as well, near the Brownsville area. So two cells that we're watching right now. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, so no tornado warning for this cell. This initial warning will be allowed to expire, but we're watching this cell too that's coming up towards the Brownsville area. Again, no warnings on them, but watching them very, very closely. In fact, Kristana, do you have an update on that storm on GR2?
I do not. It still looks like how it has been the past few minutes.
Well, that's good.
But it looks like that they have let the tornado warning expire in Hinds County.
Okay, so no more tornado warning for Hinds County. This storm is now into Madison County. Again, we'll watch it. You can see how nasty it was down here near Edwards and see how it tracked to the northeast. We'll do that, let that go one more time if we can loop it one more time. See, there it is. We had those red warning rings, produced a tornado, weakened, and now is moving up into Madison County. But still watching because this hail core is now strengthening, which means this storm might be back on the uptick. We'll have to watch it, but you see that now. Very heavy rain, maybe some small hail now moving into the Flora area. And this is coming right through downtown Flora, and Tri-County Academy is right in downtown Flora. So there's Highway 49 right there. Storm Shield saying maybe about marble-sized hail falling there in Flora. There's Petrified Forest Road. There's Cox Ferry Road, and Tri-County sits about right here off of Cox Ferry Road. But there it is. There's that storm now moving up into the Flora area. No tornado warning, but a severe thunderstorm warning. Kara.
I do have a couple of damage report updates, and there's some power poles snapped and trees downed on Mount Moriah Road. And we talked about how there were some significant power outages earlier. That is probably contributing to it. And then another report on trees on homes causing roof damage off of Ashcott Circle. So that is also in the Edwards area from earlier where this storm was producing a tornado. Of course, the look that you're getting right now is the current look out towards Flora where it has weakened. And again, this tornado warning set to expire at 12:45 unless something happens within the next few minutes that would make us think that that is not a good idea. But it still continues to look like it's on the downturn.
All right, thank you so much for that, Kara. And yeah, before we do toss over, let's go to Storm Shield 16 3D. I want to thank the director for keeping up with me. We're calling a lot of sources around here. Here's this cell near Brownsville. Look how it's gotten its act together a little bit. It's more of a hook shape now. And you see on this side is where the velocity is, the winds, and we do have a little bit of weak rotation here. This is Highway 22 right here, so it just came through Queens Hill and is now coming up on the Brownsville area. This is Highway 22 right here, and there's your circulation right there moving to the northeast. So we're watching that little cell, no warning on it, but there's some rotation with it, and in the environment that we have today, there could be a tornado with that. No warning on it, but we're watching it very closely. So something to watch over the next few scans or so. Let's switch back over to live Storm Shield 16 Doppler radar, and these are the two storms we're watching here near Flora and then down here near the Brownsville area moving to the northeast. This is the old box that will expire here shortly. This is where the storm is now across Madison County, and there's your severe thunderstorm warning from areas from Annandale over to the Canton area to the north and to the west. Right now, Flora is seeing the majority of that storm right now coming up through Highway 49 and into Cox Ferry Road, Tri-County Academy area. Anderson at 1245. Parkinson Road at 1247, Batmore Road at 1248, Stokes at 1252, Verrilia Road and Cloud Road near the 1250 time frame. Okay, so that is that track to the northeast, just to the north of Canton. Okay, so this is Richton, this is Verrilia, this is north of Gluckstadt, north of Madison, north of Ridgeland. This is from Flora and to the northeast, all right? So that is where that track is for that severe thunderstorm. And so we're still watching it closely, and it's coming up on 12:45 for the warning to expire. Before we throw it back to programming, Let's take a look at these storms back here across Louisiana, and these are mean looking. You can see a lot of tornado warnings near Alexandria, Louisiana, just to the north of Lafayette, seeing some tornadic thunderstorms. And these will move into central Mississippi within the next couple of hours. They will be moving into southwest Mississippi and then eventually into central Mississippi. This is your cold front right here, coming through Shreveport right now. And so when this front passes, that's when the severe weather threat will end. But we're watching this stuff down here that is developing as it moves into our environment. These storms I do expect to continue to remain strong, but a lot of tornado warnings down here across south central Louisiana, moving into southwest Mississippi. So over the next hour or so, heads up in Natchez and Woodville and Liberty and the Meadville area and Fayette. This area right here, these storms are moving in your direction and will be in your area within the next hour. This will not be the last time you see us on air, I promise you that, during the day today. So we're watching these storms closely. Again, the storm up in Madison County is now a severe thunderstorm warning. Watching the other cell down here near the Brownsville area very closely as well. We're going to throw it back to programming now, but again, stay tuned to Channel 16. We're going to be doing updates on social media. And if anything does come under a tornado warning, we will be sure to break back in.
Because I actually not too long ago watched Real Housewives of Atlanta from the beginning to the end.
Yes.
And I would just love to know from you, because I saw a change in everybody, from Candy to you.
Yeah.
How has that show impacted y'all? Like, you know, what has the change and the growth been for you as a person working on the show?
First of all, you know, if you start watching the show from the beginning to now, you know we've changed.
Oh my gosh.
We were so much younger then, and you have to grow.
Yeah.
You know, if you don't grow, I mean, what am I going to still be 17? Like, that doesn't make any sense. You know what I'm saying? You have to learn from your mistakes and things like that. I feel like I pretty much stayed the same. Like, keeping it real is what I do.